Well, for the winter season, you know what I'm going to talk about. No, really. I know I've talked about this in bits and pieces, but today I just wanted to dedicate really to winter, to the ice, and to the snow, and how that could impact your wheelchair, whether it be manual or power. For the power wheelchairs, if it's snowing like cats and dogs, um, or it is, above, your or touching your rims already, the snow, you really don't want to go out. You're going to get stuck. Power wheelchairs are really not made for going through the snow unless you have nubby tires, and you have the ability to change your regular tires to the nubby tires. There are some wheelchairs that have enough power that they can connect a shovel in the front and be able to shovel snow. However, if you have a regular power wheelchair like a Jazzy or some other regular power wheelchairs, it's not going to work. So you really want to avoid getting stuck in the snow and having a mess or having somebody to rescue you. It's not worth it. I have gotten stuck twice. So truly not worth it. But anyway, you really want to think twice. If it's just snowing a lot, just stay home and reschedule whatever you had planned. If you are living out in the country, you have nubby tires, you can change your tires, then go for it. There are, and you don't want to get the bottom of your power wheelchair, for those of us who have lower wheelchairs from the ground to our wheelchair, to get wet. Our wheelchairs are not made for water. So that's really important to remember. And the third thing to remember is our batteries. If it's really cold, it's ice out there, it's 30 degrees or below, your batteries are not going to last as long. So the more you push it, the quicker those batteries are going to go down. So those are the important things you really want to remember, so you don't get into a pickle. You want your power wheelchairs to survive your first winter or your second winter. This was like last year when I got stuck in the snow, and it was just really hard to get out. And nobody stopped to help me. They saw me. I was pushing my wheelchair, with all I had to get it to go over the hump that I was stuck in. And it didn't happen. I think at some point I backed up and it finally, the wheelchair was able to get unstuck. But it's not fun, and especially not fun when you have to call somebody, help, help me get out of this. So batteries, tires, and batteries, tires, and slippery slope. If you are in the south and you get more ice, then that is really dangerous, because I don't think even nubby tires are going to hold on sufficiently to the ice for you to get back home in one piece. Truly, friends, those are the things that I wanted to remind you of. If there's just a little tiny bit of snow, you'll get through it. But if there's about this much of snow and it's touching your rim, forget it. Just go back inside. Once we had about 6 to 7 inches, and I had the responsibility to go over to church to read, and that's across the parking lot. I didn't even dare. When I didn't show up, the people weren't surprised. And there was another reader there, so they got up and did the readings. But it was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't even dare. So, and I think I sent an email saying, no, I'm not going to be able to cross the parking lot. Not in a million years. So those are the things you really want to keep in mind to protect yourself and protect the wheelchair, because it's really important. Now, with manual wheelchairs, if it that much snow on the ground, you might want to have nubby tires, just in case. And you can purchase those and have them as a backup, for the winter time, and be able to get through, a little bit of snow. But if it snows a lot, you're gonna get stuck, my friend. It is very hard to get through the snow, and yeah. For manual wheelchairs, you can get nubby tires, and they're not as expensive as the power wheelchair. But for manual wheelchairs, it's just the power of you being able to get through that. Unless you are a muscle guy, muscle gal, I'm not recommending it. And always, dry off your wheelchair, even though, it'll drip off, still dry it, because, some parts might be capable of rusting. So you want to dry it off and make sure it doesn't track up your house. Unless you have two wheelchairs, But if you only have one wheelchair, you want to dry it off as much as possible so it doesn't track up your whole house, and then you have to clean it up and everything else. So, and the same thing with power wheelchairs. We have a rug at the entrance, so I do donuts on that rug to get my wheels dry when I come in from when it's wet and snowy, and then I just do a few donuts backward and forward so that I don't, mark up the house. Just being kind there. So those are my tips for winter, for going out in the snow. I think, for you all who have plenty of experience, you already know that. But it's good for the younger ones, and for those who haven't been out in the snow yet with their wheelchairs, what can happen if you go out and you want to be adventurous. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get stuck, and you could ruin your tires, or you could zap your batteries, and then it'll be very hard to get back home. So I just wanted to say that for the winter time, just keep those pointers in front of you so that you don't get yourself in a big winter pickle. All right, folks. Watch the next video down below, and I'll see you in the next one.